He was erased the moment he walked in, not because of anything he said, but because of everything he appeared to be. This is one of the harshest laws of human nature: people judge in seconds, and that judgment, once made, is almost impossible to reverse. It's the invisible line between being ignored and being respected. You've seen it play out your whole life. The man in worn clothes enters a shop, and eyes turn away, service slows, offers diminish. Another man enters, adorned with the signals of wealth, and suddenly every hand is eager to serve. The goods haven't changed, but the respect commanded could not be more different. This is the brutal geometry of perception. In the court of men, perception is law, and the law is merciless. A man who looks poor is judged guilty before he opens his mouth. He can possess wisdom, strength, and virtue, but the clothes that cover him will condemn him. He is seen not as a man, but as a warning, a symbol of impotence, failure, and disposability. To project lack is to invite scorn. To project strength is to command obedience. This law is even sharper in the halls of power. A man who neglects the armor of appearances will find doors closed, allies scarce, and enemies bold. His poverty brands him as prey. Power respects the image, not the truth, because image strikes instantly, before the mind can resist. A man who looks poor dies politically before he even begins to live. History is littered with brilliant minds buried beneath ridicule because they lacked the polish of wealth. Meanwhile, lesser men, adorned in splendor, were hailed as geniuses. The crowd, like cattle, follows the banner, not the truth. Appear poor, and your wisdom will rot unheard. Appear rich, and your lies will be taken as scripture. This is not an invitation to vanity, it is a mandate for survival. Vanity seeks applause. Strategy seeks obedience. The world does not reward the naked truth. It rewards the clothed illusion. A farmer may labor honestly, but he will be treated as dirt until he dresses as a master. A thinker may uncover profound wisdom, but he will be silenced until he speaks as if from a throne. Your appearance is your first weapon. A single ring, a polished pair of boots, a voice that does not waver, these are not trinkets. They are tools that force others to hesitate, to recalibrate their judgment. That hesitation is all you need. It is the space where opportunity grows, where you cease to be prey and enter the realm of predator. Do not believe that humility will save you. In the eyes of the world, the humility of the powerful is a virtue, the humility of the poor is a compulsion. One is respected, the other is despised. Therefore, you must learn to cloak yourself. Cloak your poverty in signs of wealth. Cloak your weakness in symbols of strength. Cloak your doubt in gestures of certainty. The world is blind to essence. It worships masks. Give it a mask of power, and it will kneel. Show it the naked truth of your need, and it will look away, or worse, it will spit. This is the alchemy of power: to look wealthy is to be treated as wealthy, and to be treated as wealthy is to gain wealth. The illusion, perfected, becomes reality. The man who refuses this game is not celebrated for his integrity, he is erased for his naivety. His voice will not carry, his influence will not spread, and his ambitions will rot before they bear fruit. The stage of the world is cruel, and every man must play a role. Since you cannot escape their gaze, you must control it. Do not let them see you as you are. Let them see you as you must be. The lesson is merciless, but truth always is: you must never look poor, even if you are. For the man who looks poor is already conquered, already forgotten. But the man who masters the illusion of wealth, even when hollow, has already won. Because the moment you display the image of poverty, the stain clings to you like rot. Men do not forgive weakness once they have seen it. Even if fortune later raises you, even if riches flow into your hands, there will always be the memory of your earlier wretchedness. The whisper, "He was once nothing," will erode your respect like water on stone. The powerful are judged not only by what they are today, but by what they have always appeared to be. This is why the cunning survive. They may not own much, but they invest in appearances as if appearances were gold itself. The coat is polished, though borrowed. The shoes are clean, though worn. The words are firm, though the stomach is empty. By the time others discover the truth, it is too late. The image has already done its work. Respect was gained. Doors were opened. Trust was given. This is not falsehood. It is strategy. It is the seed from which reality blossoms. Do not believe that honesty about your condition will inspire sympathy. Men may show pity, but pity is contempt disguised. They give alms to the beggar not to honor him, but to rid themselves of his shameful sight. To be pitied is to be made an object, not a man. It is worse than being ignored. Fear, envy, even hatred acknowledge power, pity acknowledges only failure. Consider your enemies. They do not strike when you are strong, they strike when you look weak. If your garments are torn, if your posture bends, if your tone trembles, they see their moment. Appearance invites aggression more than truth does. To look poor is to walk with your back exposed, inviting the knife. This is why life demands you become an actor. Hiding hunger behind a mask, desperation behind ceremony. The stage is not optional. To refuse to play is to lose before the game begins. Even the smallest details betray you or protect you. The way you stand, the way you shake a hand, the steadiness of your gaze, these are signals stronger than any words. The poor man slouches, his voice is hesitant, his eyes dart. The world sees this and decides, unworthy, unsafe, unfit. The same man, if he straightens his back, steadies his voice, and hardens his eyes, may fool the crowd into believing he is a lord. And if they believe it long enough, the world will rearrange itself to fit the lie. For perception shapes reality more than reality shapes perception. This law binds everyone, from the beggar in the street to the prince in his palace. Look at how rulers use splendor, thrones of gold, palaces of marble, armies in gleaming armor. These are not luxuries, they are instruments of terror and respect. The palace itself is a weapon, for its magnificence convinces subjects that their ruler is divine, untouchable, ordained. If a king were to dress simply, to walk without guards, to eat like a commoner, the people might love him, but they would never fear him. And without fear, his throne would be fragile. Learn from this. The trappings of wealth are not for comfort, they are your armor. To discard them is to step naked onto a battlefield. You must therefore discipline yourself to be ruthless in the curation of your image. A wrinkle in your clothing is a crack in your armor. A tremor in your voice is an opening for your enemies. A gesture of hesitation can invite the strike that kills you. Men do not say, "He was only tired." They say, "He is weak." And weakness, once named, becomes your brand, burned into your skin by the gaze of others. They see it once, and they see it forever. Guard your appearance as you would guard your throne. For every glance at you is a judgment, and every judgment is either a step toward power or a step toward ruin. The decision rests not in their eyes, but in the image you present to them. This is the final, unyielding truth: power is perception first, substance second. It is enough to look formidable until you can become formidable. Those who fail to master this die before their chance ever arrives. And this death does not come with thunder or flame. It arrives quietly, in the silence of a room when you speak and no one listens. It is in the ally who suddenly forgets your name, the opportunity that passes you by without a second glance, the slow, cold realization that you have become a ghost in your own life. This is the price of neglecting the mask. But for those who master this law, the opposite becomes true. A man with empty pockets who walks with certainty commands more respect than a man with gold who trembles. The crowd does not see into your chest, but into your gestures, and from your gestures, it builds its truth. If you smile at the right moment, if your silence is timed with precision, if your clothing whispers wealth even when it is borrowed, men will swear you possess hidden power. They will invent strength for you, and in their invention, you will inherit it. Power begins as an echo. Make the world echo your superiority, and soon it will become real. This is the alchemy of perception, the art of turning nothing into something by the sheer force of image. It is how empires are built first on illusion, and how thrones rest on spectacle before they rest on law. Do not wait until you have wealth to look wealthy. Do not wait until you have power to look powerful. Pretend until you possess, and once you possess, never let them see you without it. This is not merely about survival. It is about acceleration. The man who appears as a winner attracts the resources of winners. Merchants offer him credit, allies pledge their support, and talented men attach their fortunes to his star. What was once a facade, maintained through sheer will and calculation, is gradually filled with substance. The illusion, through a self-fulfilling prophecy, becomes the truth. Let there be no misunderstanding, this is not a call to deception for its own sake. This is a recognition of the fundamental machinery that governs human interaction. To believe the world operates on the merit of your hidden virtues is the most dangerous naivety. It is the luxury of those who are already protected by power, or the curse of those doomed to never possess it. The crowd is a beast that feeds on spectacle. It is led by symbols, mesmerized by banners, and tamed by ceremony. The priest in his golden robes, the judge on his elevated bench, the general before his polished troops, they all understand that authority is a performance. To step onto the stage of life without a costume is not authenticity, it is surrender. You must internalize this truth until it becomes instinct. Your appearance is not a separate entity from your power, it is the very channel through which power flows. A king in rags is a beggar. A beggar in a crown is a king. The substance follows the form. This is why you must wage a relentless war against the slightest hint of neediness or decay in your presentation. Your clothing is not fabric, it is the uniform of your station, whether you have attained it yet or not. Your speech is not just words, it is the edict of your will, measured and unassailable. Your posture is not just stance, it is a monument to your unbreakable spirit. Every detail is a soldier in your army of perception. Do not send them into battle unarmed and undisciplined. For when you master this, something profound shifts. The mask, worn long enough and with enough conviction, ceases to be a mask. It forges the man. The posture of confidence breeds genuine confidence. The appearance of command cultivates a commanding presence. The expectation of respect teaches you to embody the qualities that warrant it. You are not merely fooling others, you are sculpting yourself. The hollow man who perfectly mimics strength will, through the very act, fill himself with it. The world's belief in your illusion becomes the scaffold upon which you build your reality. This is the final evolution, from using the mask, to becoming the mask, to transcending it entirely. The illusion becomes so potent, so deeply woven into your being, that it is no longer an illusion. It is your identity. It is your truth. So, ask yourself one final time, and answer with the cold clarity this law demands. Will you be the man who is erased before he speaks, condemned by the poverty of his appearance? Or will you be the man who commands the room before he even enters, whose very silhouette promises consequence? The choice is not in your heart, or your mind, or your potential. It is in your hands. It is in the next garment you choose, the next sentence you utter, the next way you choose to carry yourself through the world. Choose to be a specter of lack, and you will be treated as one. Choose to be an omen of power, and the world will bend to make it so. The enforcement begins now. Not tomorrow, not when fortune favors you, but in this very moment. For the law does not sleep, and your enemies, both seen and unseen, are always watching. The erosion of your position begins with a single, careless crack, the unpolished shoe, the hesitant reply, the slouch of resignation. You must become the unyielding guardian of your own image. Let your first thought upon entering any room be not of what you can take, but of what you project. Your gaze must sweep the landscape not as a beggar seeking scraps, but as a surveyor assessing his domain. This is not arrogance. It is the practical application of a fundamental truth: you are the architect of the reality others perceive. Do not be deceived by the siren song of authenticity, peddled by those who have never known true struggle. The world's winners, the princes, the tycoons, the generals, understand that authenticity is a result, not a starting point. You earn the right to be yourself only after you have built a self that commands respect. Until then, you must be a strategist, a sculptor, a master of impressions. There is no middle ground. There is only the relentless pursuit of perceived power, which in time becomes actual power. So, what is your first command? Begin with the fortress of your own body. Stand as if your spine were forged from iron. Let your hands be still, your movements deliberate and weighted with purpose. Banish the twitch of anxiety, the darting eyes of doubt. Practice a silence that feels like gathering thunder, not an empty void. Next, arm yourself with the symbols. Acquire the single, finest garment you can possibly afford, not for vanity, but as a tool. Polish your shoes until they reflect your resolve. Let every object you own, from your pen to your timepiece, whisper a story of discernment and consequence. Finally, weaponize your interaction. Speak less, and when you do, let each word be a stone laid firmly in place. Listen not to reply, but to command the flow of the conversation. Become a master of the unspoken, understanding that what you withhold often has more power than what you give. This is your new doctrine. This is your war. The world has already judged you 1,000 times today in the minds of those you passed. The question is, did you control the verdict? From this moment forward, you must. Let every mirror you pass remind you, you are not dressing a man, you are arming a general. You are not speaking your mind, you are issuing a decree. You are not walking down a street, you are patrolling your perimeter. The law is clear. The path is laid. Now, stop listening, and begin your reign.